joining our quarterly webcast. I'm Jürgen Kress, member of the Oracle Product Management team. In case you missed one of our webcasts, on-demand recordings are available at Oracle Video Hub, including presentations for download. In today's presentation, Niall, Commiskey and Milad Shiraz will update us on the latest Oracle Cloud integration release and how to upgrade to Integration 3. Good afternoon, Niall.
Good afternoon, Jürgen. How are you?
So what's the most exciting feature in the new release 22.12?
Okay, if I had to pick one, it would be projects, and that's something we'll be looking at in a couple of minutes.
Cool. Will you include a demo?
I will indeed. I will indeed.
Looking forward to that. Good morning, Milad.
Hey, good day to you too.
Did you get your coffee?
I did. It's in my hands right now.
Cool. Are there already customers in production with Integration 3?
Indeed, they are. Yes, we have multiple customers who've been upgraded to Gen 3 or OIC 3, and we've had multiple. We right now have multiple customers who started on OIC 3 and are in production right now.
That's exciting. Oracle Integration 3 is based on a microservice architecture. The most visible change is the Redwood user interface. The service is available in almost all data centers. Customers are in production with new integration instances, as Milad just described. And objective of the call is to provide you with all the information to prepare your customers. Quick housekeeping. Today's session is live and this presentation is recorded. Please feel free to post your questions via the conference Q&A tool in the Zoom console. At the end of the webcast, we will answer them. Slides and on-demand webcast will be posted at the Oracle Video Hub. We will post announcements and links in the conference chat. Please complete the online survey at the end of the webinar. As we will present product roadmap information, please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Please do tweet and blog only about products and services which are available today. For today's agenda, I will keep the announcements quick to allow most time for Niall and Milad to give us an upgrade on Oracle Integration 3, the latest version which was released last week, and the upcoming versions. At the end of the webcast, we will give you the opportunity to get an instance of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, including Oracle Integration. We will wrap up today's session with Q&A. So let's get started. Thanks for making CloudWorld a huge success. In case you are not able to watch all the sessions or to visit Las Vegas, on-demand recordings are available. Please go to oracle.com/CloudWorld. Thanks for the wonderful, excellent webcast. You can hear from a leading energy provider how to accelerate innovation with Oracle Integration to connect SaaS and how to innovate SaaS with Oracle Digital Assistant. The on-demand recording is available at bit.ly/OIC November 22. In case you would like to try Oracle Integration 3, please activate your free trial with the same email address you registered for the seminar. Please make use of the documentation and training material. You can start by choosing your role, business users, developers, or admins, and make use of the training material, including the live labs for Oracle Integration 3. If you would like to get help and choose a system integrator, make use of the certified partners. You can search them by region and by competencies at Partner Finder, and you can visit the Cloud Marketplace to search for applications and services. For example, the third-party adapters from Avanco. To collaborate and ask your questions, please visit Oracle Cloud Customer Success. There you can start your conversations, you can suggest innovations, and you can earn badges. Today's webcast is live, and we will post the on-demand version at Oracle Video Hub. Visit the page and watch the previous webcasts. For all information and the summary and the links to the upcoming events, please subscribe to our quarterly newsletter. With this short introduction, I would like to hand over to Niall. Niall, thanks for attending.
Welcome, everybody. I'm just back from vacation. I was lying yesterday morning in the sun, and now I'm sitting here in a snowy and cold, wintry Bavaria. But 22.12 is with us, and let's get on with our release schedule. So as you see here, we have now with OIC and OPA, process automation, a bi-monthly release cycle. So we're looking at today mainly at 22.12, though we will be covering some features coming in scheduled for 23.02 as well. But as you can see, scheduled bi-monthly releases for both components, so to speak. So if we look here, one of the features that an awful lot of people have been looking for, and this is really from SOA Suite, is a parallel action. Now, this is something that was available in Beeple or is available in Beeple. You've got the parallel flow, you've got flow in, etc. And we're bringing that into OIC as well. So the whole idea here is to have the ability to model what should actually be done in parallel. Now, a typical example would be a traveler request where I'm booking a hotel, a flight, and a car. And I could execute these three requests in parallel, so to speak, like going to an airline for the flight, going to a hotel for the hotel, booking, checking with different rental car operators for the car and so on. So it's like the split join as well that we have in service, was splitting out what can be done functionally and technically in parallel. And as you can see, the whole idea here is, okay, you split and then you join. In other words, gathering results at the end. So I'll just show you exactly what this looks like here. So here we go in. And now you can see, here's an example of the result of this running. Now here I was doing what was a legal check and an inventory check for processing an order. So that's just kind of the runtime or design time or runtime experience there. But if we look at OIC itself here, let's go into this guy and just deactivate this fellow. We'll just see that we've added in here a new, what you could say, a new action here for this. So let me go in here. And as you can see here, here's the parallel action. The parallel action is available, of course, on the palette. Over here, there you see it. This is the new one here that'll be available soon. As I say, we're looking at this maybe for 2302. And of course, you can do here, I'm getting in my purchase order. The first thing I do is go and call a service to do the legal check. And at the same time, I'm calling a service to do the inventory check. And as you can see here, at the very end, I'm just saying, okay, if everything was okay, let's go with it. If not, okay, take whatever action needs to be done there. And of course, the idea here is when we're looking at this here, we can add more branches as required. Now, to begin with, this will support the invoke and map actions. So, which is essentially what most people will be looking for. The majority of people will be looking for here. That going forward, we're looking at augmenting that with other actions. So whatever actions here make sense will be available over here as well. But to begin with, we're looking at the invoke here and of course the relevant map as well there. Okay, so of course, as I say, if I just want to run that, it's very, very simple. Just go back out here and I just do a discard. In Gen 3, as you see, there are some changes in the UI. Jürgen mentioned the redwood look and feel. We've also got some other changes here as regards logging of your integration flows, the 3 levels, production, audit, and debug. And as you can see here now, with that production held for 32 days, audit held for 8 days. Naturally enough, audit is giving you an awful lot more information. Debug, which is not recommended, but great for testing, will be retained for a period of 24 hours. But there, of course, you're getting everything actually logged for you there. So now I'm just activating that integration. Very, very simple thing to do there. And once that's activated, I can just go in and I can just click on run. And as you can see here, we're going in, we look at the body and we say, okay, order number, we'll call it 121. We want to produce and we want to see if that iBike is okay. And we see that executed very quickly. And then we can just go in here to the, let's go to the observability. Monitoring is now called observability, as you can see. And then here you will see there is, okay, oh, that was very quick. This was my one there, 121, click on that guy there. I'm not alone, as you can see, in this environment. And as you see, you're getting all of the salient information here. Now, again, just going back on some things I've shown in other webcasts as well, but things like you can now see the native JSON payload that kicked off this integration. You can see exactly as well, okay, what we're sending back there from that as JSON as well. So the intermediate format is XML, but of course, the input output for many of these will be in JSON. But that's just showing you the parallel processing there, a simple example of that. So now I'm just going back into my PowerPoint. Jürgen asked me what was the most interesting feature that I think from 2212. Well, it is, of course, projects. The whole idea here is giving you the ability to put all of your related integration artifacts, be it the integrations, the connections, libraries, and lookups into one particular project. Think of it as a project folder, so to speak. Now, this could be used for example, I have certain sets of integrations, maybe dealing with order processing, and I want to have them all in one project, so to speak. Have them in one container that is available within the OIC environment here first. So let's have a quick look at this. Going in here, you will see that we have in OIC and the design. This is where we normally go in, creating our connections and then the integrations that leverage those connections. We see our lookups, the libraries, etc. here. We're going up here, we see we've got another level of project. And so let's have a look at my demo orders project here. Now, if I'm creating a new project, it's very, very simple. I just go in and enter the project details, or I import a project export, what's known as a car file. But we'll go in here and just let's cancel that here, and let's look at this project here. So as you can see here, all of my components, my artifacts for this orders project are available, or I've created within the project here. So inline, I can create integrations. For example, here, I can add connections here and so on and so on. Lookups, as you can see here, and I've got a library in there as well. Now, this is excellent here. And as you can see, of course, we have the ability here to activate, deactivate these integrations separately. And we've also got the ability to test them within this here. I also have within the project the concept of a project label. The project label is very interesting for activations as well. Like if we look here, I've got the orders integrations. Now this orders integrations contains 2 of these integrations here, whereas the NetSuite contains only this guy here. So this gives me the ability to create project labels, which then can be used for activation purposes. Demo label, for example. And then you would see here, here's a list of the integrations that I could include in this as well. So this project is not just, kind of one project and all or nothing has to be activated or deactivated. We can do this at a very fine-grained level using these project labels. Okay. So now, if I go in here, and of course, if I say test, for example, create cust here, and I do a run on that guy. So this is just going to create a customer for me in NetSuite. I've just got to put in a different number here, for example, and I just do a run there. And you will see here that this project structure is not just related to, the design time artifact, so to speak. Like if we go back in here and I click on observe. Now, observe is what we're using for monitoring. So whatever we call monitoring or monitor in generation 2, it's observe and observation in gen 3. So if I click on this guy here, you will see here, I just see for all of the integration flows for this particular project. So this is a very, very nice thing to have here. As you can see, like it really is encapsulated. I can work on, many developers can work on the same OIC instance, each on their own project. And these projects see their way through, not just in the design time, in the folder structure, but also in the monitoring as well. We see that our projects, you've seen the demo, and of course you can understand now the simplified navigation, because I'm doing everything in place, so to speak. I can create my connections, my integrations, lookups, and libraries, all in the one screen, so to speak. Now, the context switching, you saw very, very easy to go from one to the other within that. And of course, we have this elevated configuration, which I showed you there with the project labels that can be used for activation. And again, this is testing and observability in the same space. You saw how within there, I could design my project and then I can run my project and immediately by clicking on the observe button, only see the flows from that particular project. So simplified testing, simplified monitoring, and again, this focused observability. Now, as you can see here, just showing you another screenshot of this, we see the projects there as a top level menu item. Now, design is, of course, still there, which means you don't have to use projects. They are there to help you bring organization to your OIC development work. But if you say, no, I just want to continue, you just click on the design, you go in, create your connections, as global connections, your integrations, as you have been doing that up until now. So that's just the project contents again there, as you can see, another screenshot. And as I say, this is very, very useful. It's very, very useful. So next thing that we're looking at as well, which is not a 22.12 release, but it's something that's coming, we hope, in 23.02, and then further down the road, it will be augmented as well. And this is the ability to attach OIC3 to your network. So this is the whole idea of a private endpoint. And of course, the idea is make it very, very easy to create a private endpoint, and then you specify which connections will use this private endpoint. So it's kind of bringing OIC into your network. Now, the big benefits of this is you don't need a connectivity agent anymore. There's lower latency, and we'll be supporting additional authentication options there. So this is something that very many folks are interested in. Now, to begin with, as far as I know, this will be applied to the REST adapter. So the REST adapter will be able to have this private endpoint facility. But going forward, of course, we have customers very interested in using this as well with the ATP adapter. So watch this space for more news on that. Another thing that we're looking at doing going forward, and again, this is more the 23.02, 23.04 timeframe, is eventing, creating business events. Now, many of you from SOA Suite backgrounds, you might remember EDN, Event Delivery Network, which was really an abstracted form of messaging that we had in SOA Suite and eventing that we had in SOA Suite. The idea is to bring that sort of ease of use into OIC as well. Now, other underlying technology, but the main focus here with us will be you focus on what your events are, defining your events, and we make it very easy for you to publish those events, subscribe to those events. And of course, the idea will be to have them as actions within your OIC design time palette. So if you have an integration where something happens, you can publish that event. You can have another integration that could subscribe to that event. So this is also very, very interesting. And then the ability going forward to treat Fusion application events as OIC events as well. So bringing this level of abstraction to include not just the business events that I specifically create, but other business events generated by my ERP or by my CX apps and so on. And also having an event control panel to manage these events. So giving us visibility into which events we have and who the subscribers are, how many events have been fired, etc., etc. So that's just something that's very, very interesting. But before we look at the process automation roadmap, a couple of things about 22.12 that I just wanted to show you as well. Because 22.12 is a release that we've just had. And anybody who will now spin up an OIC project will have this available to them. Now, the new adapters that we have available here are the Snowflake adapter. We've also got a Oracle Primavera adapter, which we've just released with the 22.12. And we've also got a Postgres SQL adapter as well that we have in this one here. Now, taking the Postgres SQL, you will see here, designing like these adapters are very much similar to what you've already seen with OIC, but just to give you a view of how this actually works. So you'll see within the Postgres, I just specify my local host, the database name, etc., etc. Then, of course, which agent group I'm actually using there. And then within that, I can easily go in here to OIC, and let's look at this one here. Let's just deactivate that for a moment, that we can actually see the adapter at work. So here we go. And here we go. So again, like many SQL database adapters, when you go in here to that, you say, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to perform an operation on a table, or do you want to invoke a stored procedure? I said I want to do an insert, and then it says on which table. And of course, I'm selecting here, I can add a table here. And then it says, okay, you know, search for tables. And I would say you should only find, okay, I've got to put in the schema here, right there here. Schema is going to be public. And I just do a search on this, and I should only have one table in here, which is actually the orders table. It says here, waiting for this. And then let me do. And then I can just select that, and that should be it. And as I say, I'm not seeing it here now, so let me just go here. And there it is there. Okay, so very, very simple there here to do that. And of course, just to test this, to show you this guy in action. And let's activate that. And let's do this. There it is. Let's put in an order number of 1567, and let's run that guy. Let's hope this works. And we do, and we get our instance ID here. So let's go in and have a look at this guy. And then we can see here, this is the create order. Everything works fine there. So, and of course, within that, I can immediately drop into the activity stream for this particular area here. So I don't have to navigate through. It goes immediately to that. And you will see here, you know, this is the information passed across, etc. So that's just giving you an example of that. The Primavera adapter, of course, very, very interesting for folks with Primavera. Typical use cases may be integrating with ERP apps or whatever there. And if you go to our blog, the Oracle integration blog, you will see we have a blog for 2212 new features, which will give you an overview of all of the new features, as well as deep dives into individual things such as the Snowflake adapter, Postgres adapter, projects, etc., etc. Other things that we're doing in here as well, which are very, very nice. Says hey, I'm always very, very happy to see these things here. For example, a small but very, very fine thing is on the filtering. How we've increased what you can actually look at on the filtering here. You can see here's version here. It's not very, very much that you can actually filter on. If I go into this guy here, and let me go over here, you will see that we can filter on, sorry, excuse me, on more things here. And you can see here, you know, I can filter on the status. I can filter on project name now, of course, since projects are in there. On the integration name, I can filter on, for example, integration style. In other words, I'm only interested in the scheduled jobs. So let's go in and just check out which scheduled jobs have been running. So this makes it all very, very interesting, very, very easy for you to actually do here. And as you can say, for these scheduled jobs, for example, that we've seen here, I can click here and I can immediately go and see the schedule. And I can edit the schedule or whatever I want to do there. So just showing you some very, very nice things that we have with 2212 itself. And as I say, check out the blog post. You can also check out my blog at niallcblogs.blogspot.com. As I say, I've just released the first of many 2212 posts today. This one going through projects. Okay, so now just go back to the presentation. Quick look here at what we're actually doing in process as well. So as you know, OPA is Oracle Process Automation is a standalone SKU that's available currently. It will be available as part of the OIC or Oracle Integration 3 toolkit very, very soon. So this will be the kind of Gen 2, Gen 3 parity that we've been discussing. And some of the new things that are coming in here are very, very useful, especially in respect of the UI with the forms, the ability to have a file management control within this. So this file management control, as you can see here, allows us to, you know, upload, list, download files, etc., etc. Just adding that much more functionality to those process forms. Next slide here. Leveraging Oracle integrations in OPA to extend process workflow. Now, of course, this is the whole idea about the Gen 2 parity and having the interoperability there between process automation and Oracle integration. And of course, this ability to add an integration connector and just browse the integrations that you currently have in Gen 3 and select whichever one you need for your process. In other words, giving us exactly what we've had in Gen 2 with integration and process. And of course, the ability here is, do your complex data integration logic in OIC, do more of your process orchestration in OPA. Now, within OPA as well, we're looking as well at providing process level analytics. So these process level analytics are just looking at your process workload, to identify, where are most of your requests coming from, the demand trends, how long processes are taking to complete, the usual thing, trying to work out, okay, where are my bottlenecks, determining areas which need improvements. And of course, we see analyzing the routes that process instances are taking. This can help us then maybe re-engineer processes if we see that, all of the time is going down one path, we don't need the other paths or whatever. And of the ability to identify outliers. And of course, for many folks, this is what's really interesting. We're not that interested in the 99.9% of cases that execute perfectly well. We're very, very interested in the ones, however, that are causing the issues, those outliers. Now, let's look at connectivity and our adapters and so on. I've already talked about some of these, and you can see them listed here under 2212 under functional innovations with the new adapters, Snowflake, Postgres, and Primavera. Now, in 2212, we've also had enhancements to certain adapters. For the Jira adapter, for example, supporting project events. So you can now drop the Jira adapter in OIC3 as a trigger. And this trigger could be fired when you create a new project in Jira, or when you update that project, delete that project, etc. We've also augmented the Salesforce adapter to support Bulk 2.0. And we also have done some work in respect of security OAuth support for the Workday adapter. I don't see it mentioned there, but I know that that's already been done as well. Now, you can see that we have, of course, new adapters, like every release provides new adapters. Ones we're looking at here are OData, for example, Confluent, Kafka, etc. So, the Snowflake adapter. Now, many folks may be using Snowflake. Like, I actually just tried it out recently, getting a blog post together on how this adapter actually works. But of course, the main focus on this will be, bulk data import, export to Snowflake, because that's what Snowflake does very, very well. And of course, common use cases could be, take data from Google Cloud and push it to Snowflake, or take Google from Azure or AWS or whatever. And our adapter, of course, is built just to do that, And of course, the advantages of using this adapter is, the complexity of connecting to Snowflake. If we're taking care of all of that internal plumbing for you, or the security, whatever, all of that is taken care of for you. You just use the adapter, and as you can see here, this is the sort of thing you get. You define your connection, your warehouse name, database name, schema name, etc., etc. The client ID and secret are these which you generate from Snowflake, and then you see the endpoint wizard there. What do you want to do? I want to do import, I want to do export, or I want to do some work with statement execution on Snowflake and so on. So executing queries on Snowflake data. So that's it, Jürgen, from my part. As I say, folks, before I hand over to Milad, just check out my blog. You will see here, I'm getting these 2212 release new features posts together. I'll be posting one a day over the next week or so. And Jürgen mentioned as well, get onto this as soon as possible, because this is the future. Well, it's not the future, it's here today. And Milad will now give us some intel on how you can actually upgrade to Gen 3.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk through this. For those of you who've been with us for some time, you remember that over the years, we've offered different flavors of OIC, going back to ICS. OIC Classic or OICC came after. OIC Gen 1 was the first full-blown cloud version that we offered that included VBCS and and also process. OIC Gen 2 is a OCI native product that most of you are familiar with, and now we're on OIC 3 that's filled with new features as Niall just showed you. Oracle Integration 3, you probably know this for the most part, but it has a lot of similarities with Gen 2. For example, it's a cloud native, it's a fully managed service, and then it has a lot of improvements compared to Gen 2, which provides improved performance. It provisions a lot faster. It has a nicer look and feel, and it as I mentioned, provisions a lot faster. So right now, just to give you a quick snapshot of adoption of OIC 3, all our promo instances are on OIC 3 right now. We've upgraded over 500 Oracle internal instances. These are the instances that we use internally to run Oracle business. These have already been upgraded to OIC 3. We have new customers, net new customers on OIC 3 who started their development on OIC 3 and now are in production. And lastly, we have customers that have parallel access to both Gen 2 and OIC 3 and run them side by side to get a better feel of what OIC 3 provides. So if you've been with us for some time, it is likely that you've been upgraded from Gen 1 to Gen 2. You know that Oracle manages upgrades end to end. Upgrades are required and mandatory, so all customers are expected to be on OIC 3 by the end of the year or sooner. Upgrade is considered scheduled maintenance, so we do provide you with notifications. It's time bound. It may have a downtime that I'll go into details shortly. Why to upgrade? Well, you want to upgrade to benefit from all the latest features like the ones that Niall just demoed to you. You saw how easy to use the new UI is. It's been built from ground up with developers and end users in mind. OIC 3 definitely provides improved performance, and it has exceeded any benchmark set by Gen 2. And all the future enhancements or future features that we put out will only be available in OIC 3 and not Gen 2. Gen 2 will continue to get fixes and security patches, but all the new features will only be available in OIC 3, and those should convince you to want to upgrade to OIC 3 as soon as possible. From a customer perspective, upgrade is very easy. You pretty much are eligible to upgrade as soon as we have all the features that you use available in OIC 3. We schedule you. You prepare for the upgrade, meaning you start the internal communication, and if you have to do any allow listing, for example, you do so, and then we upgrade you. So the process end to end should take no more than 2 months. If you have multiple instances, I'll cover that in my future slides. You can start with your lower environments, leave 2 weeks in between to do your testing, and then upgrade your dev and prod instances. So overall, very easy. It's been designed in a way that has the lowest impact possible on the customer, and I'll go into more details about that. Who is upgrade eligible? All the Gen 2 active instances with targeted features are eligible to upgrade right now, and I'll go and I'll discuss with you what the target features are. We have eligibility check in place that checks for features that customers are using to pick them up for upgrade phases that are ongoing right now. These eligibility pre-check results are available to everyone. So if you want to know why you've been picked or didn't get picked for a given upgrade phase, we can provide you with that. And we can work towards getting you upgrade eligible if you know, we have to if there is a need to upgrade you as soon as possible. So target features, this is what I meant by target features. Users that are using file server are targeted to upgrade starting January and onward. Customers that are using VBCS are targeted to upgrade starting February and onward. And PubSub, customers with PubSub footprint will start to upgrade coming April and onward. So our expectation is that everyone will begin to upgrade at least by April. And then again, if you have multiple instances, we will leave some time in between upgrading your instances for you to do your testing. Scheduling and rescheduling, as mentioned, we will begin scheduling you into predefined upgrade waves, similar to Gen 1, if you recall. But then what we're providing you is a handful of options within weekdays and weekends within a wave that you can reschedule yourself to. So if the date and time that we pre-schedule you does not work for you for your business, then you have the option of rescheduling to a different window within the wave that you're in. And you can do so by the self-service UI that we've put together. There is no need to file SRs, no need to reach out to us or email anyone. You have a long list of options to choose from when it comes to rescheduling. This is the upgrade UI, and I have a demo of it for you to see. So I'll skip through this, but as you can see on the top right-hand side, and I'll go into this in more detail, but this is an example of an instance that is upgrade eligible. This is an instance that is not upgrade eligible. And this shows a case where eligibility is, being checked by the algorithm. So upgrade process under the hood, upgrade starts with pre-check. It's always ongoing. We check instances to make sure that they stay in compliant with requirements for upgrade in a given phase. Then there is a brownout phase the week before the actual upgrade, and that is when we do majority of the work, copying the data, forking it over to this newly created OIC3 instance. And the reason we do that is, unlike Gen 1 to Gen 2, which we told customers to be prepared for up to 8 hours of downtime, the downtime for Gen 2 to OIC3 can be as low as 5 minutes. And the targeted overall downtime for us for instances with large number of data is less than an hour. But all the instances that we've upgraded so far, the 500 that I mentioned to you, the average is between 5 to 9.5 minutes. So we've made a lot of improvements to that by having a brownout window that will fork over your data from your existing Gen 2 environment into a new OIC3. And then we have the gray out, and that is when the scheduled upgrade is, when the downtime of a few minutes will take place, and we switch over from the old to the new. And then when the upgrade is complete, we'll go back and clean up any Gen 2 footprint that's there. So under the hood, pretty much upgrade process falls within these 4 categories. But again, this is customers see a different view of the upgrade. Okay. We are putting a lot of notification around this this upgrade process, and not all of these apply to every customer, but majority of it do. For example, every time when the customers are scheduled or put into predefined windows, they receive a notification that they're now scheduled for an upgrade. If customers go in and reschedule to a different window, another notification goes out that has the new date and time, and it goes out immediately. If customers make a change to their instances that disqualifies them or makes them no longer qualified to upgrade, then again they get a notification. And I'll cover that in the upcoming demo that I do. The gray out notification goes out when when the instances are no longer available, and that is designed to give you a heads up that upgrade has begun. And that's followed by upgrade complete notification for when the upgrade is actually done and instances are again up and running on OIC3. And for any reason, if you have to postpone an upgrade, also a notification goes out that lets you know, hey, this upgrade has been postponed to a different date, and provides next steps. Customer tasks on Oracle tasks, majority of the task is done by Oracle when it comes to upgrade, as I mentioned. On the customer side, there is just the preparation and some smoke checking that needs to be done. So if this bar on the top, this is before upgrade, and customer tasks are on the top and Oracle tasks are on the bottom. Prerequisites, that's a fancy term of saying, hey, make sure everything is in place, your instances are active, and it is time for you to upgrade. And then Oracle, we will run the eligibility check that I mentioned. And if you are eligible, then for a given phase, then we will put you into upgrade windows within that phase. And at that point, we ask you to review the requirements, know that there is a downtime, know that, for example, if you have failed instances, you get the option of addressing them in Gen 2 or later in OIC3. There is a list of those which I'll go over that you need to just check mark. And if there is any cleanup that you have to do, for example, you do so, and that falls within the pre-upgrade tasks. And then we send you a reminder that upgrade is coming. You pause any development to make sure that there is no hiccups when it comes to the upgrade. And then during the upgrade, pretty much what you have to do on the customer side is to wait for the upgrade to complete. And then when the upgrade is complete, you log in, you make sure everything is running smoothly. On the Oracle side, we upgrade the instances. We perform testing when the instances are upgraded, and we will send you a notification that, hey, upgrade's been successfully complete and everything's good to go. So that is a snapshot of what you will experience from the beginning to the end. This is a different way of looking at it. Up to 2 weeks from when you're scheduled to upgrade. If you need to reschedule, please do so. 2 weeks before upgrade, you know, if there is allow listing that needs to be updated, please do so. 2 days prior to the upgrade, make sure that, you know, it's been internally communicated, all the tasks you've checkmarked, and limit development work to make sure upgrade goes smoothly. Impact on customer. Again, there is a small downtime targeted for less than an hour. So far, we're upgraded more than 500 instances. The average is between 5 minutes to 9.5, less than 10 minutes. IP addresses change, and that's why you have to redo your allow listing if needed. URLs will automatically redirect, so there is no issues there. Right now, we're running a program that we call Clone Upgrade, and this is to take one of your instances and upgrade it to OIC 3, and that has, I'm sorry, I should say, take one of your instances, clone it on Gen 2, and then upgrade it to OIC 3, and that has several benefits. You get to experience upgrade before it comes it comes to upgrading your actual instances, and you will have access to OIC 3 with all your integrations and artifacts, so you don't have to start from scratch. So this is a OIC 3 trial before you're forced to go to OIC 3. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of this. If you have a use for this, please reach out to me and I'll set you up with the process. There is no requirements, and it is risk-free because we are cloning one of your existing environments and upgrading it to OIC 3. And it's very easy to implement. I've put together a documentation that I provide you with on what the steps are and how to go about it. Okay, so everything that I talked about has been put into a very detailed documentation, and I'll show you that in just a minute, and then I'll do a very quick demo and leave some time for questions. This is the documentation for upgrade. It's very detailed, so we've put a lot of time into it to make sure all your questions are answered. And it is accessible from multiple places. You can go to the integration service documentation, and either from integration 3 or integration Gen 2, these are available to you. When you go to Oracle integration Gen 2, there's a section that says upgrade to Oracle integration 3. You can access that documentation from here. You can also go to integration 3, and again there's a section that says upgrade to Oracle integration 3, and both of these will bring you to this very detailed documentation put together nicely that tells you everything and more that you need to know about upgrade. So with that, so this is a experience I've gone through to upgrade an Gen 2 environment. As you can see, the version on this G2 G3 upgrade demo instance that I have, this is the OCI console, and when you go to OCI console, you can see detail on instances that you have. This particular case, this is a I'm gonna move my mouse so you only see one mouse moving. This is a Gen 2 environment, and it is we're going to upgrade this Gen 2 environment into an OIC 3. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. So this is the Gen 2 environment. You can see the integrations we have. This is a long list of them. One of them is active on the top, Echo. It's activated. So what we're going to do here now is to test it. And we will test it with hello Gen 2 or G2. And you can see there is the activity stream on the right-hand side, and we've got the response on the bottom. So this is a functional Gen 2 environment, okay? In Gen 2, when you're in Gen 2, there are multiple ways that on the top right-hand side, you can see the bell icon. Next to the bell icon, there is the upgrade window is available to you from that notification icon. So you can go to the upgrade UI that I mentioned from here, or you go to the menu under settings. The upgrade tab is also visible to you once you are upgrade eligible. Once you're put into an upgrade window, you will see these two icons popping up on your instances. So this is the upgrade window that I mentioned to you. These are the what we check against for eligibility. So we, for example, if we're targeting select features that I mentioned to you, we are going to make sure that you are using only those features in your instances for that upgrade phase that we're running. And again, you don't have to worry about this. We do this on our end, and you will only see the results of it. So you'll see that, okay, when it comes to B2B, I'm clear to upgrade. When it comes to process, I'm clear to upgrade. When it comes to PubSub, I'm clear to upgrade. And that's how you read this table. Scheduled upgrade. This is one of the most important sections of this UI. Basically, it tells you here when you're scheduled to upgrade, and if you have instances or integrations that are failing, you get to choose whether to ignore them in Gen 2 and address them in OIC 3, or address them here before you upgrade. And then again, on the bottom, you see, one other thing is that you have to choose whether this is a dev or prod environment, and that has to do with how OIC 3 is put into two different shapes of dev and prod. And to save some time, these are the list of this is the dates that are available within this window. You will have more time slots available to you in a real scenario when this is upgraded. So pretty much, and then one other thing is that, you know, the IP addresses, the new IP addresses are provided to you. This is just a demo, but IP addresses will also be available to you where it says, please allow list the following IP addresses. So when we upgrade this, which again takes no time, when you go back to the OCI dashboard, you see the version has changed to Oracle Integration 3, and that and OCID are pretty much the only things that change. Okay, so with that, let me stop this. This demo goes into, you know, showing you the OIC 3 environment for that same Gen 2 instance, and it does show that, you know, all the integrations are intact and you can run them for some testing. With that, let me stop.
We would like to give everybody the opportunity to test Oracle Integration 3. So Santa Claus comes early. We whitelisted you for a free trial to get used and get familiar with the Oracle Cloud Platform, the whole platform. And there are two tiers. First of all, there's a tier which is called Always Free Cloud Service. So you can use it unlimited time, basically compute, storage, a virtual computer plus an Oracle database plus Apex. So it's a great offering, and you can build applications there and you can use it in production. And on top of the always free tier, you get a 30-day trial with $300 credit. And as you attend this webcast, we whitelisted you for a special offer, so no credit card is required. So to summarize today's webcast, there are plenty of good resources for you as a customer and as a partner. Please visit our website, oracle.com/integration. Make use of the documentation. As part of the documentation, you find now also live labs for getting started with Oracle Integration 3. and activate your free trial. For the activation, please use the same email like from the webcast registration. As a team, we publish the latest information on blogs.oracle.com/integration, and Niall writes a wonderful blog, so it's worth to visit it, or my blog at Past Community. For the latest updates, please subscribe to our quarterly newsletter. Niall, do we have any good questions you would like to highlight?
We have many, many good questions there. Now, ones to highlight, I suppose many people are really looking forward to getting onto Gen 3. And many questions were there, you know, how long will it take? How much work do I have to do? But I think Milad explained exactly, you know, how, you know, the onus is on us to get you there, and the actual time windows required are minimal. Like I think Milad was mentioning minutes, you know. So I think they're the sort of things, and it's great to see that. And folks, like there are so many compelling reasons to get on to Gen 3. So I look forward to your questions after you've kicked the tires. So please make use of Jürgen's offer there of getting access to Gen 3.
Milad, are there any questions you would like to highlight for the benefit of everybody?
A lot of good questions. One thing that Vinay asked is about the option between production and dev shells in the upgrade UI, and that has no impact. The only impact that has is for patching. So as you know, dev environments get patched prior to all the dev environments. So that is a chance for you to define whether this is a dev environment to get upgraded first prior to your upgrade. But that was a good question that I left out.
So thank you for attending today's webcast. Special thanks to the presenters for the wonderful job. Niall, it's always awesome to see your live demos, and thank you, Milad, for the nice details on the upgrade. If you have further questions, you can reach out to us via social media like LinkedIn, and you can also ask your questions at Cloud Customer Connect. We would like to say thank you, Merry Christmas, and make use of the Santa Claus present to try out your Oracle Cloud infrastructure, and please activate Oracle Integration 3 in the Frankfurt data centers. Thanks a lot for attending. Merry Christmas, and hope to see you March 16th next year.